Righty-ho. Good afternoon. I suppose it's evening now. Well, that's late. Anyway, quantum physics over, finally. Let's see how that turns out. Doesn't seem like it was too horrible, but there was a few questions where I might have lost a significant number of marks. So let's hope that didn't happen. Anyway, descending into typical UK weather. So we're coming in now into Biggin. Got some traffic popping up on the radar screen, so just going to keep an eye there on the 10 miles there. He's looking like he's climbing, but he's already above, so should be no factor. He might even be popping out of a cloud. He might be visible yet. Let's see if we can get him on the... There we go, he's on the high vis screen. This thing's brilliant for seeing other aircraft. You can literally just go, there we go, there he is, and there he is, and now without it. Yep, descending into cloud now. We're flying the standard ILS procedure to runway 27 left at Heathrow, so nothing too insane. We're going to head... We're going to do the S-turns. Let's engage landing system both sides. Leave Biggin heading 040 degrees. And we'll descend to 4,000 feet. So there we go. We've got our constraint now coming up 7,000 feet at Biggin. I'm going to engage the approach mode now. Activate and confirm. The ILS is tuned to London Heathrow. We've got 109.5 and a course of 269 degrees with a 3-degree glide path. Since we're now reaching flight level 70, there's no need to reset any of the altimeters yet, but we will do that below. So 2 miles from Biggin now. Our standard procedure is from controllers actually, it's not from... It's not a chart or anything, it's just a standard what you do if you're controlling Heathrow. So S-turn 040 degrees, continue at 1,100. Okay, heading is 040 degrees. We'll fly that for about a minute. I should stop at 020. We're 19 miles out, so 6,000 feet is fine for that. Seatbelt signs are on, lights are on. Speed check, we can set flaps to speed 200 for now. We'll start the left turn heading 300 degrees. Okay, there we go. Now we can switch over to the local QNH, which is 1003. Check it there. Okay, it's actually 1004. Okay, so now we can arm localizer. Auto brake to low. We'll be taxiing to Terminal 2 today, Austrian Airlines. Fave. And approach chart. Let's get that up. A little bit of a slowdown as we're kind of flying into London, which is very intense actually. So photogrammetry and all that. ILS DME 27 left. There we go, so we're currently somewhere out here, following down 269. Minimums are... Let's do 640 feet. We'll do 200 feet. Okay, there's the glide path, we're 16 miles out. Okay, since we're now establishing, we can do flaps 1, reduce to about 180 knots for the base leg. Coming in now over the Thames, we can just about see London underneath us. Let's arm the approach and the second autopilot. Great, we've got 14 miles to go. Let's maintain 160 to 40 ME. Okay, there's the glide path now establishing. We'll put down flaps 2. And we'll basically get the plane to pitch down due to this ballooning effect. Flap 3. There we go, we've got our 2.5 degrees nose up attitude, flying into the Heathrow clag, as usual. Heathrow traffic, Austrian 3, Papa Lima on a 10-mile final, runway 27 left. Once that third layer of flaps out. Gas is too idle. Let's just see what the weather's doing. It doesn't look like it's been raining. Got a 21 knot, almost full crosswind, so we'll see how we cope with that on final. We've got some good old UK weather. So this should be exciting. Now I've managed to avoid, I'm flying back to the UK soon, managed to avoid some of the EasyJet problems by booking by Austrian Airlines, but none of the flights are operated by Austrian Airlines, so it's Dolomiti, who are very nice. We get them a few times actually. I'm always hearing them when I'm flying circuits at Innsbruck. They are an Embraer 195. It's an Italian airline that flies under Star Alliance, so Austrian Airlines charters them out for certain routes. So they do Innsbruck to Frankfurt and then Frankfurt to Heathrow with Lufthansa. So hopefully they won't have any problems, since Lufthansa haven't had the same issues as EasyJet with staffing issues and so on, since it's one European-based airline, so there's no Brexit nonsense to talk about there. And as well as that, I have a feeling they may have had better furlough packages because Europe was generally a little bit better at keeping people, on employment rather than just furloughed for X months and then lost a job. So we can hope that that'll work out. Hopefully it will. Okay, we've got 6 miles to go. I'm happy with that. Gear down. Coming in over Kew Gardens now, I think. Yeah, that's Kew. Gears now down, we're over, there's a golf course here. At some point we will put the final pieces into the puzzle. So, 5.5 miles, let's do speed as mind. Flaps full. Okay, we've got 17 knots wind from the side. I'm ready to disengage the autopilot, so we'll do that shortly. Actually, I need to put this back into climb detent. There we go. Heathrow traffic, Austrian 3, Papa Lima, short final, 27 left. 4 miles is short final.
1,000.
Got some blustery effects now. Let me push my chair a bit further back so I can actually rudder. Fly the plane with all 4 control inputs. There we go. Looking good, we're on glide path.
500.
500 feet. I'm going to start slowly muting everyone else. For me anyway, I don't know if I think it still comes through because the computer's hearing it and it's just a hardware mute. Go a little bit of nose up here. I'm actually just going to continue down.
100 above.
Continue.
Meow.
Minimum.
God's sake.
Flight slow.
Yes, shush.
Flight slow.
I don't need this right now. 50, 40.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Touchdown. Reverse is green. Right rudder actually. Okay, reverses can go off, auto brakes are mine. We'll vacate right here and taxi into Terminal 2. Flaps up. Speed brake up. Switching over to tiller. Okay, the master switch on, APU on. Runway turn off lights off and nose lights take off. Strobe lights off, beacon light stays on. Continue on to Alpha. And start the APU. Spent a while in the ground with it actually, but that's the way of things, you know.
Gatwick traffic, is a Suzuki Golf running up behind the path east, just take refund the Gatwick. I'll be flying right after that liner is out of the way. Which I think he is, so he's the 1-3 with the AT5.
Let's find out the landing rate then while we're here. So, 103 feet per minute, 1G. Yeah, that's what we like to see. 1G means there was no difference in the landing force compared to the force on the plane normally, so that's what I call a happy landing. It was a bit over-flared, not over-flared so much, but there was quite a lot of travel down the runway. Let me just check where we landed. So, I've got into the habit, probably due to flight training school actually, because I'm learning to land on short runways, of aiming at the threshold basically. So I'm aiming at the threshold, and that means when you're flying an ILS on a big plane, you end up coming in slightly lower over the threshold than you probably should, which means that despite longer flares I'm still landing quite close to the touchdown marker. So we actually landed according to Volanta about there, which is spot on really, but it just needs to be not at the expense of a low approach. Basically we need to make sure we still have a good approach. We have a construction site here, so we'll take this one over here. Nah, let's go over here. Okay, rolly. clear under the nose, that's on the centre line, it's basically between the two anti-ice bits. There we go, and the tow brakes are on, parking brakes set, engine 1 off, engine 2 off, APU is available by this point. The beacon now can go off and the taxi lights can go off, seatbelt signs off. Everyone stands up rapidly, you know, very important to get off the plane as soon as possible, but little do they know that we don't even have a door. There we go, we're just connecting that now, and I doubt that would happen as quickly in real life either. Ground services wise, let's just leave it at that, I think. I mean, I would love to have my my old mod back, the toolbar pushback. It works really well. But I think there is some conflicts with Phoenix, which is slightly annoying at this point. Also, it'd be nice if somebody could change all these red lines into HSBC logos, just to add a bit of extra realism. Yeah, so 100 free feet per minute, nice approach with the standard S-turns, so I'll just share the S-turns here. Window capture, we'll do Volanta and share. There we go, we came into Biggin Hill, overhead Biggin, so there should be a big VOR station somewhere here. There's the VOR.
I'm having a bad day.
There you go, the Lewisham came towards here. Oh, there's a grumpy one. We went over Bravo and then back into this bit here. So yeah, we've got this whole thing here, and that's actually quite clever. They're making it more like Atlanta, yeah. So you can fit a lot more planes when you have this kind of grid layout, as you can see from Heathrow. Terminal 5, they've obviously gone, that works really well, whereas this is not so space efficient, this mess here. So if we just turn this into a big hub here and lots of lines of jetways, you can fit a lot more planes on the parking. But that's that. Nice landing, smoothish approach, and hopefully not too much of a performance here. I mean, there has been a bit, but I've flown Frankfurt to Heathrow, so those are probably the two worst airports from Asobo, and you can see I'm getting about 25 frames per second in the Fenix A320 with the update and everything. So there we go. Lovely. Toodaloo.